sees that police officers are surrounding her vehicle. She steps out of the vehicle and says, "Oh no, officer, what did I do? Why are you stopping me? Did I run a stop sign?" He says, "Oh no, ma'am, you're going to jail." Her attorney takes one look at her and says, "We can't send this woman to jail. She is far too pretty for prison." However, what did the former girlfriend of a Backstreet Boy do to land herself in jail? Let's find out right now. Wednesday, my Cajun cuties. Yes, it's me, Anne Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carrollton, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment, and don't forget to press on the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. I hope you have a beverage. I hope you have a snuggle porter or a snuggle fur porter. Those are the best, and you're ready to hear a true crime story with yours truly. And as always, I want to know, are you drinking that water? Are y'all staying hydrated? Are y'all getting those tickers up? Remember, just a quick 20-30 minute walk, especially first thing in the morning, get those endorphins up, and you're going to have an amazing, wonderful day, I promise you. And as always, thank y'all all for joining me on this wicked Wednesday evening as we discuss another true crime case. Today, we're going to be discussing a woman that made news all over the world. Everyone wanted to know who she was and what she did. I remember turning the TV on 20 years ago back in 2004 and seeing this beautiful blonde, blue-eyed woman and said, what could she have done to land herself in jail? Everyone wanted to know. All eyes were on Deborah. Yes, today we are discussing Deborah Jean Beasley. Deborah was born August 28, 1980, to her parents, Joyce and Larry Beasley, in Riverview, Florida, which is around the Tampa area, around Orlando. She had one big sister named Angela. Debbie says that her father was emotionally absent from her life and that the only time he paid attention to Deborah was when he was mad at her. When Deborah was 13 years old, she says that she was essayed by her boyfriend in the school bathroom. After this incident, Debbie says she became extremely depressed. She had manic episodes. She had an eating disorder as well. And it was hard for her to perform everyday activities. She said she couldn't make her bed. She couldn't wash her face. She couldn't make herself something to eat. She was just so severely depressed about everything that had happened in her life, especially being essayed by a boyfriend in the 8th grade. When Deborah was 14 years old, she met 15-year-old Backstreet Boys Nick Carter. Now, I know we all know Nick Carter. Nick Carter, to me, was the cutest Backstreet Boy. He had the blonde hair, the blue eyes, and was extremely good looking. He and Deborah met at church when she was 14 and he was 15. He says that he lost his virginity to Deborah and he was crazy about Deborah. He said he loved the heck out of Debbie. However, the two broke up when Nick Carter's career began to skyrocket to the top and he became extremely popular with the Backstreet Boys. While attending East Bay High School, when Debbie was around 15 years old, she began a relationship with another female. Her parents found out about the situation and weren't very happy about it. They withdrew Deborah from East Bay High and put her at Bloomingdale High, where she graduated high school in 1998. Deborah wanted to start modeling. Bottom line, Deborah was a gorgeous, gorgeous woman who wanted to show off her good looks. She started modeling for Makes and Models magazine, and you see pictures of Deborah with her bikini on, standing next to a motorcycle or a car. She looked great in all of her pictures. Deborah decided she wanted to go to college. She started at the University of South Florida and wanted to be a teacher. She loved college. However, in April of 2001, Debbie found out some very devastating news. Her big sister, Angela, who was pregnant at the time, was killed by a drunk driver. Debbie was so upset about this situation as she loved her big sister, Angela. Debbie graduated from the University of South Florida in 2002 and began working as a teacher at Greco Middle School in Temple Terrace, Florida. While Debbie was in high school, she met Owen LaFave. And while they were in college, they began dating all throughout college. On July 19, 2003, Owen LaFave and Debbie got married. Owen says, yes, Debbie was a very extremely beautiful woman. She was a gorgeous woman. Nobody could stop that. She was beautiful. However, he says that she was very intelligent as well. He says that he could have a conversation with Debbie and they could talk for hours. She wasn't just a dumb blonde. She was a beautiful woman inside and out. And he knew that just by talking to her, she was very intelligent. However, he and she both says that she was dealing with depression all the time. Owen LaFave says married life with Deborah wasn't pleasant. She wouldn't help him cook. She wouldn't help him clean. She wouldn't pick up after herself. He says her mother pretty much did everything for her. She would get home from school after a long day of teaching, throw her clothes off, make a bag of popcorn, and just sleep. He said she would lay around all day and watch TV, not want to do anything. She was severely depressed. However, he did say that she was an excellent teacher and was very strict on her students. In April of 2004, Deborah meets an 8th grade male student while helping her friend out, who was a coach for the school's tag team football team. She loved helping her friends out. The male student and Deborah became even more acquainted at the end of the school year in May of 2004 when the graduating 8th graders were all taking a trip to SeaWorld. Deborah LaFave was a chaperone. However, Deborah and the 8th grade male student were very close and were flirting and talking a lot. And guess what, y'all? Her husband, Owen LaFave, was a chaperone as well on this trip to SeaWorld. Deborah started dressing very provocatively, short shorts, crop tops, her belly button was out, her belly button piercing was out. Everyone noticed. And Deborah said that she started giving the 8th grade male student detention so she could spend time in the detention room with him. Sometimes she would even invite his friends. She would even invite the male student to come to her classroom after school to get better acquainted. Deborah LaFave felt more in sync with a 14-year-old boy when she herself was almost 24 years old. Deborah LaFave says that she and the young 8th grade student began to kiss here and there. She says that he would even ask her to flash him. She says the two became extremely close, talking all the time. Debbie says she gave her phone number to the boy, and they were already discussing having relations after school. When school was done, she started driving the young student to his activities as well as to get a haircut, just driving him here and there. She says that she started having feelings for the boy and even told him about her feelings. She also gave the young male student a pendant to symbolize their love and bond together. She says that she could not get rid of these feelings for this 14-year-old boy. Y'all, he was 14 years old. As y'all all know, I have a 13-year-old daughter. I see her guy friends come to the house. I see them at school. I see them around. I cannot understand how someone like an adult could be attracted to a young underage person. I cannot see that. However, Debbie felt that she was in love with this 14-year-old student. She says that she wanted to be around him all the time, and the two started having relations. It was said that they even had relations at her condo that she shared with her husband. She also says that she would have relations with the boy in her car while his 15-year-old cousin was driving. This just floors me. And another thing, Debbie says that she wanted to go to Ocala, Florida to buy her husband a gift, and she had the two boys come with her. This day was the beginning of the end for Deborah LaFave. One of the boys' moms, I think it was the cousin's mom, saw them in this area and called the 8th grade male student's mom and said, "Hey, who's this woman that the boys are with? There's this woman that the boys are with right now. We don't know who she is." The cousin lied and said that that was that Debbie was a sister of their mutual friend. However, that lie did not last long. When the students arrived back at home, the 8th grade student's male's mom questioned him and wanted to know exactly what was going on. She didn't believe their story. After intense questioning, the boy finally admitted that he was with Deborah LaFave, and yes, they were in a relationship, and he was having relations with his school teacher, Deborah LaFave. The parents contacted the authorities, and the authorities wanted to know if this was true. They wanted to make sure that the boy wasn't making up this whole story, that he wasn't just saying that he was with his hot teacher. They wanted to make sure that Deborah LaFave was having an inappropriate relationship with a minor. So what do? They want to record conversations between the student and Deborah LaFave. And y'all, when I heard these conversations, oh my gosh, I was shocked. It was like listening to two 12-year-olds have a conversation. It was crazy. Y'all should have heard her. She says, "Do you promise your parents aren't home? Do you promise this? Do you promise that?" And he would be like, "Yeah." She would be like, "Pinky promise?" And he would be like, "Yeah." And she would say, "Pinky promise." It was so weird. She didn't sound like a grown adult. She sounded like a child. When the police found out all of this was really going on, they wanted to arrest Deborah LaFave. Deborah LaFave gets into her car. She's going to see her 8th grade student. She gets in her car. She drives. All of a sudden, her car is surrounded by police. She says that she thought to herself, "Oh my gosh, what did I do? Did I just run a stop sign?" It never dawned on her, no, I'm going to jail for having an inappropriate relationship with a minor. Debbie steps out of the car, gets arrested, and is charged with 2 different charges because the alleged incidents happened in 2 separate counties. She says that she is scared, she is worried, and she doesn't understand what she did wrong. Deborah LaFave could face up to 30 years in prison if she is convicted. Unfortunately, Deborah LaFave would never spend 1 day in prison. The young male student's mother said that the boy had been through enough, and she felt that she did not want to make him testify in court. So Deborah LaFave decided to plead guilty on all charges and was sentenced to 3 years on house arrest, 7 years probation, had to register as a sex offender. She had to surrender her teaching license. She can never teach in the state of Florida ever again. Deborah LaFave's attorneys said that placing Debbie in a Florida state prison is like placing raw meat with lions. I don't care how pretty you are. Saying Debbie is too pretty for prison is horrible. I guarantee you, if it was some scary Charles Manson looking teacher, they would have thrown him in jail, locked the key, and thrown it away. But because she was too pretty, she couldn't go to prison. No, you are an offender. You are a predator. You are a monster. You had an inappropriate relationship with a minor. You deserve to go to prison. You deserve it, no matter what. That's my opinion. Deborah LaFave should have served jail time. However, she did not. Deborah LaFave was rearrested in 2007 when she was caught speaking with her 17-year-old co-worker. However, her probation was not revoked as they found that it was nothing. It was just Debbie talking to a co-worker. Debbie was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. She divorced her husband, Owen LaFave, after this incident. Debbie now lives a very quiet life. She is a wife and mother of twin boys. She is now Deborah Jean Williams. And Deborah will have to register for the rest of her life as a sex offender. My final thought, I always give y'all my final thought. And my final thought is Deborah LaFave should have served jail time. Absolutely. Deborah LaFave should have been in jail for committing this crime. In my opinion, you have an inappropriate relationship with a child, you need to be put behind bars for a while. Just like last week when we discussed Mary Kay Letourneau. She went to jail for 7.5 years. Deborah LaFave should have served jail time. I don't care how you look. I don't care how you sound. If you have an inappropriate relationship with a child, a 14-year-old child, you deserve to be thrown in jail. But she wasn't. And in my opinion, when I see Deborah walking down the street in the videos when she was arrested, when she was going to court, she loved this attention. She wanted the media attention. She loved that all eyes were on her. She loved that she didn't have to go to prison. She was smiling. She said she was sorry to the boy in prison. She was sorry that all this happened. But in my opinion, I think Deborah LaFave was just sorry because she got caught. I don't think she wanted to take responsibility for anything. I believe that Deborah LaFave honestly thought she did not do anything wrong, but she did. And she's going to have to pay for it for the rest of her life. She's a mother now. She knows how it is now. You know she doesn't want that to happen to her sons. She doesn't want anything like that to happen, but it did. And now she cannot teach anymore. She threw everything away to have a relationship with a minor. And it's sad. It's very sad for such a beautiful woman who was highly intelligent to give up everything for this. Is sad. And my heart goes out to her friends and family, and especially the young boy who is now probably around 35 years old. No telling what happened. Maybe he had issues because of this. Who knows? But Deborah LaFave will have to register for the rest of her life as a sex offender because no matter what she thinks, she did commit a crime. I hope that y'all all enjoyed today's video. I hope that y'all like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press on the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. And as always, stay safe, always be aware of your surroundings, and always know that I'm here for each and every one of you. I hope y'all have a great night. And thank y'all all again for the love and support. And for you, I am truly grateful. I will see y'all next week with another video. Bye.